Hi there. This is a reading for the collective. Take what resonates, leave the rest. So today we're going to talk about who you are really. And what I mean by that is I asked Spirit to highlight like who you are as a person, like what you don't see about yourself. The good, the really good stuff that you don't see, and the not so good stuff you don't see. Sometimes we need a little reminder of things that, or we need to highlight things that are, not being shown to us in order to heal or in order to like celebrate ourselves, right? So, I feel like I need to say trigger warning because it might be hard to hear the things that are not so good. That part's not fun, but it's important, right? So if you're not ready to watch, that's okay. But if you're still sticking around, I'm with you here because, the things that Spirit's going to say that aren't so good will probably apply to me as well. So you're not alone. And thank you for being here too. Yeah, this deck is brand spanking new. It's really cool. I'm like right now, I've always liked neon. Maybe it's Lisa Frank's fault. I don't know. But I've really been drawn to it lately for some reason. So I don't know. I just changed my logo and I made it neon. And then right after I did that, I saw this neon deck and I was like, stop. I gotta get that. Yeah, these are really tough to shuffle. They don't look like they're thick, but they are. So, and I want to make sure that I probably should have done this beforehand. Usually I shuffle during my reading. So if you need to skip this, that's okay. But because this is a brand new deck, it's all in order and it's hard to shuffle. So I want to make sure that it gets shuffled well, And I'm not really taking into account anything at the bottom of the deck because it just, they're not mixed up very well. So I was like death, but no, that's the Five of Cups. Oh, hey, we don't need that, do we? Just get rid of that card. Yeah, that Five of Cups really wanted to be seen. The Emperor and the Queen of Wands. Okay, maybe one more and we should be good to go. Because they'll fall out the way that they need to. So, okay, so who are you really? And you definitely have to take what resonates here because you might not resonate with all of it, right? And maybe you'll think like I don't resonate with that, but maybe it is about you. So that's important too. Ten of Pentacles reversed, right? And the smack dab of the middle of the reading, yeah, it wants to go. That wants to go here. That's odd. So it seems like we're going from the middle and fanning out for whatever reason. Maybe there's like a you're focused on something that I had a feeling that wanted to come out. Maybe you're focused on something that, and I was thinking about a relationship. So if you're feminine, or you could be gay, whatever relates to you. This feels like a romantic partner, so I feel like you are focused elsewhere, like this is your center focus even though this is over here. And I feel like you're being asked to change your focus to yourself. Perhaps you're a person that is used to focusing on other people, but now maybe you're trying to make a change, and Spirit is really highlighting that, in order to have a healthy connection with anybody, like it has to be like natural. It can't be forced. It can't be just focused on one person. I can relate to this message because I used to be like that too, where I just hyper focused on, especially my partner. Ooh, the fool. That's good. We like to see that. Um, because part of it was just that I was very codependent, but also like I was a caregiver, and I just felt like that's how I was going to appease my person, or that's how I was going to get him to love me, and that's not true at all. I mean, I am naturally like a giver and a caregiver to people still. Like that's who I am, but it's all about give and take and moderation. Okay, so maybe it's not about a romantic partner. Maybe it's just, ooh, hypervigilance is coming to mind. Maybe it's just you focusing heavy on something to avoid, like, facing yourself, is what I'm really feeling. Okay. Because I think we need to kind of talk about these two cards before I dive in and get another deck here. So it's Ten of Pentacles reversed with the Page of Wands. Yeah, I really feel like new opportunity wants to find you right now. And like maybe you're at the beginning of your, like with this Fool and Page kind of energy, maybe you're at the beginning of your venture. But however, I feel like there is like something about you where like you get these opportunities to start fresh, and it's passion related with the wands, but I feel like you're a great study with a bunch of different things. The magician's here and he has all the tools in his belt to succeed, but he's in reverse, so you can't necessarily see that you have the capacity and the capability to do all the things and to be successful everywhere in your life. But right now you're really focused on your passions, whether that's a project, work, or a person, but you feel like you're just gonna fail with this Ten of Pentacles. This is like this isn't, I wouldn't say this is the most abundant card, but this is all about family. I mean, abundance is present because we've got the Ten of Pentacles, right? But it feels like you tend to look at and focus on how things went wrong before for you, even if you're not like sitting there and like really thinking about it. Like it's in the back of your mind for sure. So you're just like, yeah, this can't go right. And I mean, look at all the Pentacle cards. We've got 1, 2, 3, the most out of any suit. And there's even a pentacle on this card. I mean, it's got all the, wands, swords, or wands, swords, and cups and pentacles. But, you've got 3 pentacle cards. So, I feel like you're at kind of like a breaking point is the word I want to use, but like it's not about you breaking. Maybe that's what you feel like. I'm at a breaking point because things don't work for me. So you might be a little bit of a pessimist, and that's okay. I can be too. I used to really be one, but I'm getting out. I'm trying to get out of that energy. And look at all the pentacles are reversed. So, glass half empty kind of person, and you just expect this to fail and all of the things that you're creating because that's what you're used to. But yet, I want to say, like, you still are trying. Like, you will always be that person that tries. You're a very diligent, hardworking kind of person and determined. You're very determined. Okay, sorry, real quick. So I use 2 C words back to back, and then I use 2 D words back to back. So you might be trying to find the right words right now. Maybe your communication is off. I can relate to that. I've been really tired and drained because of the loss of my father. That's okay, you know, obviously. But so yeah, you're very like determined and you're going to succeed. Just know that. But, you know, I feel like there's been a lot of bumps in the road and that might deter you. 3Ds now, that might deter you from going for it. And Spirit is saying, like, who you are at your core is someone who does succeed. You know, sometimes, like, well, not sometimes, in your case for sure, anybody watching this video, you have not been a person that's had things handed to you, okay? You've had to work for every fucking thing that you have. And that is actually a blessing because you don't take it for granted then when things work out for you. It would be a really good opportunity. Like I noticed, I've been feeling success. I've been feeling abundance. Like I know it's coming, right? And I happen to have a few things, just quite a few things consecutively work out in my favor. So I made sure to thank God. I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And, you know, that's really important right now. Any kind of win, whether it's financial or not, maybe it's just a win. You need to thank God for that, okay? So let's get into the reading. I feel like I want to go here. I use this deck a lot, but I just really think it's good at highlighting, you know, it's a chakra deck, but it's more about like, you know, who you are or what's going on around you. So it's the perfect, and it's very colorful. That's probably why I picked it, to kind of match this, not on purpose, but so, you know, this is a perfect kind of deck to use for like who you are really. And the fact that I repeated the title, there's going to be a lot of people who are in denial about the things that they don't like about themselves. But that doesn't make you, I need to say, that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you, you know, wrong or anything like that. Like we all have flaws. And I mean, there are some things that, you know, we can change about ourselves. And patience. I don't know if you can see that. There's always going to be things that you should grow and change about yourself. That doesn't make you a bad person. Okay. So you might be really extremely hard on yourself. Look at that abundance. You know, I almost put that over here. And actually, there's a reason I did that. That needs to go over here. I should have listened to myself. Sometimes I don't do that, even though I know I'm on point. Yep. Okay. So, you know, who you are at your core, even if you've got things that you don't like about yourself that are flaws or whatever, like it's balance. You need to, we have to be balanced. We can't be all good, you know, it's just who we are. You're not like inherently bad. You have flaws, like I say. So maybe if you look at them like that and things that you can grow and change about yourself, then maybe that wisdom, yeah, maybe that'll really help you, you know, get away from that word, because nobody's, I mean, there are people who make really, really bad decisions, but nobody that's like coming to this, I was going to say live, but no, it's a video. Well, I guess that wants to go there. Nobody that's coming to this video is like, you know, that kind of person. You're just needing to heal and grow. That's all. A lot of gray coming out. I noticed that. Ooh, we love that. Joy. You know, two truths can be two, there can be two truths at the same time. Insecurity and joy. You know, it's like, or the Fool even. We don't even need that joy there, because the Fool is about like playful fun. It's kind of like the Page energy. It always gives me a vibe of, not that it is a young person, but it's kind of like, oops, sorry about that. It's kind of like that where you're going on an adventure and it's kind of a lighthearted, just taking a leap kind of thing. So, there might be a little insecurity at this time for you, but that isn't deterring you from making a change. You know what I mean? So since we started here, let's go in the middle. And because the middle came out first and I've been drawn to the middle a lot lately, it feels like you're kind of teetering in between worlds. And what I mean by that is that you're already noticing, you're going to be already in the process of noticing things that I'm going to tell you. For most of you, some of you might have no idea. It might come to a shock to you even. Either the good or the bad, or just the bad. I don't know, whatever resonates with you. But I feel like this is kind of like, a 2 energy. Any of the 2s in the deck are kind of like, okay, I'm in between I'm like needing to decide to go this way or that way. So you're like, I feel like you already know which way you're going to go, but it's a matter of kind of like taking that leap, taking that step into, the good, the success, and walking away from, things that were holding you back. Because I definitely feel like there's a lot of past energy for you that is kind of weighing you down right now. And I relate to that as well. So we already kind of talked about these 2 cards, but let's see what, I forgot what this card is. Destiny and patience. Yeah. See, the paths going, okay, I got to go this way. Maybe I've been going this way for a long time, but I got to go this way. Well, if you do resonate with the fact that you already know that you're going to be making changes, maybe you don't know what they look like yet, and you're going to be taking this new path, like you're in a hurry to get there. You want to start creating because you feel like so much time has passed. But you can't be impatient with growth, especially. So, right now would be also a good time. Like I'm saying, see any wins, but I think you need to give yourself permission to sit with your losses, but especially like you need to give yourself room to think about, okay, yeah, these things failed and what didn't go right about them. Because now, like for me, I can say any success I didn't have was part like me not believing in myself and having low self-esteem, being insecure, right? And allowing people to tell me I wasn't capable. People got in my head, and I think that probably is the case for a lot of you, and this gossip card is proof of that, okay? But now the person I am is like this emperor, or empress, but like I can consider myself both, because we have both masculine and feminine energies, and I've done really well at balancing them. And the emperor takes charge, and I don't put up with shit anymore. I will call people out point blank. I used to be a person to keep my mouth shut. I won't do that. So if I have anybody, I won't do that now. So if I have anybody trying to take my throne or tell me like I can't be on that throne, I'll be like, okay, well, this is why I belong on the throne, and list off the reasons why I'm here. And I can only be here because I was here before, at really low points here, like all these reverse cards. Well, actually the hard work, this one, if it's upright, like you're working hard, and not to say that I don't work hard anymore, but I don't push myself to where I break. And that is very much like, that's the wrong kind of energy. Like you shouldn't have to work hard to get the things you want. Yeah, rejection, I know all about that, hardcore. a lot of areas of my life, impatient, isolation. I mean, I'm a introvert, so some of the times my isolation is a good thing, but I definitely resonate with the fact that a lot of people made me feel isolated because they wanted me to stay small. They didn't want me to find the throne. So, understand that you're already, no matter where you are with this reading, okay, whether you realize these things or not, or you just started realizing, it doesn't matter. You're already on your way over here. And no one can take that away from you. And maybe if you understand that piece, like, because you probably, like me, I was a person, maybe you are still a person that gave their power away to other people. Well, I have the power now. I got the power. Nobody can touch me. Okay? Doesn't matter what they try. They can't touch me. Can't touch this dude. So anyway, yeah, that's destiny. You might be a person who the unknown is scary for you, and I mean, we can all relate to that, right? Even when you do a lot of healing, it still can be a fearful thing. But you can get to a place where you just know, like, accept that everything that's supposed to happen will, even if it's something that you don't like. I mean, it's just life. It can't all be good. It can't all be joyful. You're going to have rough times, right? But you are essentially in charge of your own destiny. It's just a matter of understanding that if you try to force or rush anything that has to do with your destiny, it's not going to work out for you. It might be something that gets put off longer. Okay. So, don't be that impatient person. And like a lot of it, sorry. I have to go shut this window. I try to fix this thing. A lot of that is dependent on you, or the impatience also applies to you, like the impatience you show to yourself. So if you become a master at kind of being more patient with yourself, it makes it easier to have patience with other people and with getting where you want to go and all those things. Okay, so now I want to go to the Emperor. I know I'm going kind of out of, like, all over the place today, but that's what's supposed to happen, I guess. So we've got the Emperor, wisdom, and rejection. Yeah, that's beautiful. If you are in the Emperor space, you might not be yet Emperor, Empress, whatever. You understand that you have the wisdom now. Oh, there's a dove. You're at peace for sure. Or you're on your way to peace, however it applies to you. You understand that rejection is actually God's protection. So if we're talking about relationships, right? If we're talking about love relationships, in the fact that there's kind of like these ghosts here, you might still be, like, definitely already, I was talking about over here, you are haunted by your past wherever you're at. I mean, I am too. Like, it's okay. Like, it's just, some things in life are really hard to overcome. Specific situations regarding specific people, they might stay with you, they might haunt you. But if you have, like me, an understanding in the wisdom that, like, I am on this throne and I can't be touched, these things, these rejections from the past or these stories from the past, they can't, they might pop in your head and it might affect you in the moment, and maybe you'll make a choice that you'll be like later, oh, I could have made a better decision. Like, it'll still work out for you eventually. So anything right now, if you're, like, let's say in a space of like a lot of impatience, like maybe you haven't dealt with that yet, and you're trying to really just get out of the weeds, right? Get out of the tough spaces, the rejection, okay? You're going to need to really sit with these things that are haunting you and see where the wisdom comes in. And a lot of times wisdom is like knowing not just the person's role, the other person's role, but like your role in the scenario. And that helps you level up and get to a higher space than the page, which would be a knight, like it's all about progression, and like spirit's really highlighting that in this reading. So, and there's another dove. So it's not necessarily about this like material wealth, okay? The wealth for you is getting to a space where you are sitting on your throne and you've got your arms open for whatever material abundance is coming your way. But like the wealth for you is going to be healing and having more wisdom and creating things and getting to your destiny. Well, you'll never fully be at the destiny. Like there's going to be things along the way that trickle in, because if we get to our end point, then we're done with life and we're dead, right? So you're just going to keep taking that leap when you're arriving to a new place in your destiny. So right now would be, if you're in the early stages of your healing, it would be a really good time to sit, even if it's hard. That's how I got to where I'm at. Oh my God, more doves. Peace, peace, peace everywhere. The more you get to a place of peace, there's 3 things haunting you maybe, and there's 3 doves, right? Check it off the box, check it off the box, check it off the box. The easier it's going to be for you to get on the throne and get your abundance, okay? Your other abundance. But when you get to this throne, it's going to feel like any kind of material wealth is icing on the cake, because you can't put a price on healing. Like when you find more peace, I'm telling you, based on someone who knows, of course I want this. Of course I do. But I feel so much better. I'm more optimistic and more joyful because of my healing journey, because of what I've done and what I've experienced and all the bad things I've experienced. So trust me when I say, this is the ultimate win right here. So then we've got the Magician reversed, bittersweet, and creation. Yeah. So I was saying a little while ago at the beginning of the reading, like this is like you having the tools in your belt, but either not knowing how to utilize them or completely ignoring that you have tools. And instead of that, you're looking at what you don't have. You're coming from a place of lack, right? With all these, well, especially this one, like again, with the wealth thing, the ultimate wealth is healing, but it's also like the people that are surrounding you that love you, like the real people that love you, not the superficial shit. So if you have if you have people like that around you, this is a good opportunity to ask why that's happening. Like who you are as a person is attracting the wrong kind of people. And I know you're probably going to get mad at me for saying that, but I am, again, speaking from experience. The people in my life now are completely different than they were, before I started my healing journey. Let's just say that. So, there's a sense of like the bittersweet piece of it is, when we make a decision, and you have to make this decision yourself to heal, it's kind of hard because you're letting go of a version of yourself that you've been hanging on to for most of your life, right? So, finding peace and creating a new reality for yourself might feel a little icky, and that's okay. So, who you are in this moment feels like, for a lot of you, actually, that it's part tenderness is a word that's coming to mind, and gratefulness, and hopefulness, but also like lack-minded, like I was saying, like pessimistic, not hopeful, maybe a little depressed, I'm feeling, maybe a little isolated. There's probably, it's going to be different for every person, but like, shame is coming up. Fear is a big part of not being healed, and I still run into fear a lot. And it's hard to kind of see what you're afraid of sometimes. It takes a while to figure that out. And blame. You probably have some blaming going on, pointing the finger at other people. Yeah, I mean, whatever it looks like for you right now, there's definitely a sense of, okay, I don't know exactly where I'm at or who I am, but I know that I can do better and I want to do better. So the first key of that piece is seeing who you are, like recognizing things that you're doing, the part you're playing, like I was saying, in whatever scenarios are haunting you, or that maybe aren't even haunting you, but impacted your life, that you think about a lot. It could be from years and years and years ago. Things that we hang on to are things we haven't dealt with yet. So anything that is still haunting you, you're carrying, and you need to find a way to let it go. And that starts with you acknowledging it happened, acknowledging your role, and forgiving yourself and that person. And it's not to say you have to do it all at once. You can't possibly. Sometimes you think you're done with something. I mean, there's something that haunts me, like, and it might haunt me for the rest of my life from an experience that I had. But, as I've gone along, it's gotten easier to deal with. When that person haunts me, I just kind of ask myself, what is haunting me in this moment? And it might be something I haven't dealt with. You think you've dealt with something completely, and then it comes back around. It's like an onion. I've talked about this before. It's layers. Healing is in layers, and some situations have a bigger onion, maybe like a bloom onion, where others might just be a small, onion you use to cook, even like a scallion, like, so just understand that it's a process and it can't be as simple. And that's part of the impatience. If it were simple, everybody would be doing it. And a lot of people are going to choose not to do it. And that's fine. That's their journey. It's not for you or me or anybody else to worry about. But I feel like if you're here watching this video, you want to heal. And maybe it's not right now, but maybe you'll come back to this video later. Whatever works for you. I'm just sharing with you kind of where you're at right now. Okay. So then we've got the Three of Pentacles reversed, which talks about working and co-creating with other people, but it's reversed, right? So then we've got gossip, and then we've got abundance. This is the same kind of idea with rejection. So those people that you, and there, it's not a coincidence. You've got three people in this card. I almost said video. And then three people in this video. And then I said it again. So there might be a video out there with you and two other people that's significant. I feel like if you're hearing that and you're like, oh yes, whether it's a video or a picture, you need to take it down. Like, it's something that affects you. It's something that keeps the energy alive. Like, maybe you're missing two people that you were friends with. Maybe it's family members. I don't know what the case is for you. But the problem is, and oh my God, so this is the same guy, but there's still three people. Like, there's three individuals. I mean, it's one person, but you get what I'm saying. There's three in this card too. So 3 is significant. I'm kind of going all over the place, but this is important. I also feel like for some of you, you might not have met a person yet that is going to, um, like, it feels like a change that's gonna, they're going to spark a change for you, but it's going to be a tough relationship. It feels more like friendship or family. Maybe a family member is coming back in your life. Either way, it's not the kind of energy you want in your life. Like, not supportive people. Okay, so anything you have out there with those people that you have in your phone, or you're thinking of cutting ties with them, or you just have pictures out there or videos out there with them, you need to like clean house and get rid of this energy because it is not serving you. These people, so I was talking about being a caregiver, right? These people, it feels like they hightail off you, or there's something about them taking your energy. You might, like, when I say that, you probably feel depleted around these people. So there's something about your energy that they latch onto, and they kind of, they might be stealing your light, right? They might be, you're meant to be in the spotlight, you're meant to be this emperor, but they're sitting on the throne as a reverse emperor who is like a tyrant, okay? And controlling. They want to control the narrative, especially, is what I need to say. So the more you remove these kind of people from your life, and for some of you, you might just have an acquaintance that you didn't realize, okay, I need to get rid of them because, they're not even tied into this, but I need to get rid of them because they're, it's draining me. Yeah, somebody who's really emotionally immature, for sure. Oh, temperance, you're temperance, but they're like, yeah, they deplete you because you're emotionally intelligent, you're emotionally honest. Wait, what was that under temperance that I saw? The devil. I fucking knew it. They're the devil. The Ace of Cups. They're trying to take your good energy, like, because you're overflowing with love. You just are a kind-natured person. You might have a little spunk to you, but you care about people and you have good intentions. These people absolutely do not. And maybe you were questioning it, and coming here is giving you that confirmation. But the more that what I was trying to say, sorry, I got sidetracked. The more that you kind of separate yourself from these people and like remove them, and maybe it's a slow process for you, and that's fine. Like, if you feel, because I'm getting the sense of you feeling like they're going to notice and retaliate. So if that's the case, then I would just trickle it out, okay, slowly but surely. Don't make any like rash moves like deleting them off Facebook or whatever. I would just like start slowly removing the background stuff, so that when you decide to like block them or whatever you're going to do, blocking would be best. By that time, it's done and they can't come near you. The more that you do that kind of thing, the more abundance is coming your way, okay? Because it's like these people that you've given your energy to, the wrong kind of people, and I'm not saying, that to make you feel bad, because I did the same thing. The people like us that are that good energy, this good energy, and we've got open hearts and we care deeply for people, we'll do anything for people. We attract the devil. We attract those kind of people because they see good in us and they don't have it, so they're trying to take our good energy. You know what I mean? So once you start removing that from your life, it makes room for the things that you deserve. Do you get what I mean? Because especially those kind of people make you feel small, like I said. So then that's when you feel like you don't have success, and you're not getting success because of how they made you feel, like the insecurity and stuff like that. And I mean, part of it is you. Like I'm saying, you have to be able to look in the mirror and say to yourself, okay, what was my role in this? So you allowing them in your space is your role. And I'm not blaming you and I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but that's what you have to recognize was like, I let them be here. So that's on me, but now I'm choosing not to. And that's good on me. You know what I mean? Like once you make that choice, they're out of here and then you'll feel a million times better. Trust me. So then we got the Eight of Pentacles reversed with isolation and impartiality. So I feel like right now, a lot of you, who you are is maybe you're at a space like me where you recognize, okay, I don't want to have to work this hard. I shouldn't have to work this hard. And you might be doing a lot of isolation, like hermit kind of energy, because you're trying to figure out like what it is you want to do next or like how you're going to move next, like what your plans are. Maybe some of you are leveling up in your job, like maybe you're taking a higher position, but right now you're just kind of trying to figure out like that next move and what it looks like. And that's not a bad thing. Being in the middle and trying to make a decision, making decisions might be difficult for you because of that self-trust aspect, the insecurity or self-doubt. Well, you need more self-trust for sure. So you might be kind of like teetering on what you want to do next, or like you're not sure, like you still. And I mean, I struggle with this sometimes too. I'm not gonna lie. Like it took me a lot to quit my 9 to 5, and I have people who judge me all the time that I do in DoorDash and Uber. But my dream is this. My passion is this. This is my purpose. So I'm not gonna give it up for anything and or anybody. Okay. So like I sometimes go back into this energy because I lived it for so long, the hard work. And I'm a millennial, but I have a lot of Gen X tendencies, and I mean millennials are hard workers too, but I've got more of that drive, that work drive, and I was a very hard worker when I was working in business, but now like I understand the value in the isolation, in the hermit mode, in the resting, self-care, all of that. And maybe that's something you're trying to figure out right now. You're not quite there yet. Maybe some of you are, but I feel like there's kind of a questioning of your values and what you want to represent when it comes to work, especially, or what you do for a living. Maybe you've got your own business too. Maybe some of you, the impartiality, maybe some of you have to be, or don't have to be, maybe some of you are like counselors or mediators or attorneys, like you have a job where you have to be objective, police officer, whatever it means for you. And, maybe that takes a toll on you. Like maybe you have to kind of learn how to isolate yourself and go in that hermit mode so you don't get drained because you're not, maybe some of you feel like you're not speaking your truth because you actually think that person's an asshole, but you have to defend them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's kind of left field, but that's feels like it's what's coming through. So yeah, and the Fool, the opportunities that are coming for you are based on what you're willing, who you are willing to be. Like you have to, the biggest thing with who you are, involves authenticity. And that's going to be different for everybody. But for the most part, it's being true to who you are as a person. So, that's where the abundance comes in. Like being honest with yourself, being truthful with other people, and saying no. Like boundaries are very significant coming up here. Like, nope, not doing that, not signing up for that. I'm going to sit here and let you do your thing, and I'm going to do mine. I'm going to rule the castle. Okay. You're not meant to rule. I am. I'm taking my power back from you so I can sit on this throne and get my abundance. But taking leaps is really important for you. You're going to find more joy in, through change. But I feel like for some of you, it's, being daring and bold. Like you're going to actually find, like, maybe you think you don't like change, but maybe the more that things change for you and the more fun you have, the more playful you are, you're going to be like, ooh, I actually really like this. And it's okay to, kind of question it and question God and questions, your guides, your ancestors, and say, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. Like, I'm not saying you have to be like, oh, gun ho to get these things you want. No, that's expected of you. But you definitely have to get out of that pessimistic energy, because you're not going to achieve anything if you stay there. And that's going to take time too. I used to be a big hardcore pessimist, so I know. But embracing the gray area right now would be really good for you. Like seeing both sides of the story. Like weighing out your options, like to see what's best for you right now. Ultimately, focusing on yourself, getting back to you and what you need and what you want and who you are is definitely going to help you achieve the things that you want more than anything else. So being authentic and saying no and cutting people out of your life is probably what is most important to you right now, I would say. But that all being said, again, it's going to be different for different people. Maybe you didn't resonate with this whole message. Maybe you're already standing in your power. Like, it's okay. Just, again, take what resonates. I just want to pull one more card and then we'll end the reading. That was a good one. I like it. Butterflies, transformation. See, I thought I saw death, remember, in the beginning, and that's transformation right there. So, and I just saw a butterfly, so that's transformation too. That's important to understand that you are sometimes healing. Like maybe a lot of you have already started, right? Healing. Sometimes you can't see it until you're past it. So just because you're not visually, actually, this is the card. Wow. That's never happened to me where I split the deck like this while I'm shuffling anyway, and the card came up. That's weird. Oh my God. You know why? Because underneath that is Dove Spirit, but it's reversed. So I got to read this message for sure. But 1 second. Sorry. What was I saying? Squirrel. Oh, so a lot of you might have already started your healing journey, but understanding that, like, you can't just, start making changes and automatically, like, see what's in front of you. Sometimes you have to be on that healing part so you can know what's different about you and what you've changed, okay? And sometimes God puts you in those situations again, not just for a test, but so you can see, like, yes, I've changed. Yes, I've grown. And this is who I am now. This is who I am now. And it feels really good. So the card that I split in the middle of the deck is, oh my God. And I was like, what's on the other side where I flipped it? And it's Grasshopper Spirit. Take a leap of faith. Yes. So if you were thinking about going for it, Spirit is saying going for it. White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic. Oh my goodness. This feels very delicate, this raven, white raven. I don't think you're delicate by any means. Delegate maybe is what I needed to say, but I screwed that up. I don't think you're delicate by any means, but maybe something you're handling right now is delicate, like that project or that thing that you want to achieve. so you need to handle it with care, and you already know that. But there's no harm in like asking for help, like from God, from your ancestors, from, you know, your guides, to get help with whatever this thing is that's delicate for you. For some of you too, it's your heart. Your heart is delicate right now. Did I say delicate again? Delicate. I can't. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting tired. Can you tell? It's in a like soft space right now, so make sure you protect it. Okay. I might read that one or just kind of look at it to see what other kind of message there is. But let's see. Dove spirit. Oh. God really said, and I haven't used the animal deck in a while. Here, let's put this in the middle. But God really said that, and I mean, obviously, I knew that dove message was important because I noticed them on every single card. And sometimes I don't always look at the complete imagery because I feel like I don't need to. But when I'm called to do it, I do it. And then it's like, holy crap. Okay. Be peace. So what's the reverse message? So they call it a protection message in the book. However disturbed the waters around you, however troubled your heart, the Spirit is there to remind you that peace without begins within as you reconnect with Spirit through practices that awaken you from spiritual amnesia. Your true nature is a peaceful child spirit, but how easily, child of spirit, but how easily you forget. So I need to stop right here. Spiritual amnesia. I feel like whoever these people are that don't align with you anymore are trying to distract you from being connected, or you are connected. I don't want to say that to God, but like they're distracting you from your peace. Okay, like you have the peace already, you have the light, you have the wisdom, you have that, right? So don't let them distract you from your success, from the throne, from anything that's happening in your life that you want, period. You're being invited to sit in the cozy, safe nest of Spirit, or the throne. I was just talking about the throne. Soon the waters will become still and you will feel peace again. And I was talking about your heart being delicate, and water represents the heart. That's emotions. Okay. So, you know, right now your emotions might be running wild. You might feel very turbulent because of things going on around you, but also like I'm saying your past and all of those things. So just be kind and gentle to yourself, okay? And surround yourself with people who make you feel seen and heard. Be compassionate with yourself at this time, for all of us can forget that peace is always at hand, always there, gifted to us by Spirit. Become the peace you wish to see in the world so you can reduce any suffering, performing acts of kindness and radiating love. Dove Spirit also reminds you that when you see inequality, or yeah, I don't know. I thought it said, I don't know. I thought it said something else. But anyway, when you see someone harmed or in need, trust that you have the capacity to bring peace through smiling, sending love, speaking a kind word, and listening with a compassionate heart. So that part right there is telling me God is saying to you, don't lose your heart because of this, because of the devil. Okay, not everybody is like this, and you already have proof because of yourself, but there's people around you who are well intended. So instead of, here's that pessimistic, right, instead of focusing on this, focus on the magic, the people around you that they might be older people that really care about you and want what's best for you, okay? Do your part to be a peacemaker, nourishing compassion, reminding others of the joy of harmonious coexistence so that they may embrace the dove spirit within themselves too. Yeah, so the more God is saying too, the more that you align yourself with who you are, the authenticity, it will invite change with other people, even ones who you never thought were capable of doing so. I'm sorry, I need one more, but for a different deck, and then we're going to end it. Oh, two more, I guess. Neptune and Capricorn. Interesting. Ambition, realism, and methodical steps. And then Neptune is dream and transcend. Pay attention to your dreams right now for sure, but this is about your dreams specifically, what you want to create. Stay focused on your dreams right now. This is a abundant time for whatever you want to create, but it's like it's an important time for the things that you love, for them to blossom is what I want to say. Ambition. Yeah, use your ambition right now to transcend, and it's going to be really good for you. Yeah, be open-minded, objective. And, it's really hard to be open-minded when, the ego likes to come in when you're proving a point. So, with these people who have done you wrong or are currently doing you wrong, it's like, okay, well, they're not right, and God doesn't want you to focus on that. And I mean, it's okay if you do. Like, God understands that it's not easy for us humans to feel wronged, right, and want to prove a point. So, like, if you do it, that's okay, but do your best to focus on yourself and find peace, because that part of it is a distraction from what you're trying to do, okay? So I hope this reading helped you, and if you want a more in-depth reading about who you are as a person, I can certainly do that for you. I'm going to put my booking site in the comments. I do more of a my main purpose is to help people with their trauma, and I mean, this is kind of trauma related, really, if you think about it. But I can do any sort of reading that you might want, so feel free to message me if there's something that you don't something that you see on the booking site, or don't see on the booking site, I should say, and we can work it out. The one thing I don't really do is mediumship anymore. I will tell you, if a loved one comes through a reading and gives you a message, like, that could happen, but I can't make any promises. It just happens when it needs to. So thank you for watching my reading. Any likes, shares, comments, subscribers to my channel are really appreciated. I usually go in a row so I don't forget anything. Oh, if you'd like to donate to my channel, I have CashApp, Venmo, and PayPal. It's really appreciated, but not expected, okay? Again, thank you for being here, and I hope this helped you.